What's up, guys? Welcome back. I know it's been a while. We promised Nighthawk Nightcast episode 2 probably a few months ago, but then we never did. We never did it. That's partially on me, but we're back. I'm here again with Blakester 154.
Hello, how's it going? We finally paid off our electric bill.
Yeah, I got evicted from my apartment, and but we're here, and that's what counts. All things considered, all things considered, wrapping up A levels for all you Brits, all you Europeans out there, and then all of my Americans. I hope finals have gone well for you. I know if you're in high school, just now getting ready to graduate, congratulations. If you're in college and graduating, congratulations. Welcome to the real world. There's taxes now.
Don't remind me of those, please.
But for me and Blake, it is summer break, and I know for Maddie as well, it's summer break. So don't have to worry about those too much yet. But Blake, do you have any fun plans for the summer? Anything you're excited for?
Honestly, no. For the most part, I've just kind of been doing my thing, working out. Well, not working out, but working in general. Although I do plan on working out at some point, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much planned aside from maybe just liberating Super Earth from the Illuminate grasps.
That's true. There's been that update has came at the perfect time, right? As I got home.
I know, right?
Thank God. Had they dropped that update during my finals week, I might have failed all my finals. Thank goodness they didn't. But yeah, no. I mean, summer. I'm not expecting to do much. I've got some. I do have something in June to July, a little bit of military stuff, but otherwise I'll be chilling. No big plans. Last summer was big for me. Last summer I went all over the world. This summer I can't. I'm broke. Like I said, got evicted. I'm just kidding, but you're right. We paid the electricity bill, so here we are. And yeah, but from what I remember from the last podcast, there was a few things that we didn't really get to touch on that we wanted to touch on this time. And the first thing I believe was the TNI impact on our personal lives, sort of outside of Roblox, outside of the group. Just looking at how it's impacted your life. It's silly to think that a Roblox game can have that sort of impact, but at the same time, with something as large as TNI, and especially if you've been here for a while, since COVID and everything at its peak, there was a lot of things to manage, a lot of things to do. And so, some people picked up some really good experiences. So, Blake, do you have any personal experiences or things that you've picked up from TNI that have just really helped you in your personal life?
I guess kind of the main thing for me would be kind of the managerial experience from when I was a colonel in Progression. That's right, Progression. I see you. I was there.
Yeah, you were the head evaluator, correct?
Head evaluator, then the executive general, which is basically the step below the prog gen, but then that got removed because, that was mainly for me.
And so, what did you Sort of what did you learn in these positions that have helped benefit you outside of just managerial?
Honestly, it's been so long that it's honestly been way too long since I've actually thought about it. Because that was back 5 years ago when I had it.
Has it actually been that long? Holy crap, dude!
Yeah.
No, yeah, that adds up.
Yeah, lots happened between then and now, so it's kind of a lot of it's kind of foggy, but a lot of it was kind of learning the inner workings of how things worked around here, kind of knowing how to delegate, and just kind of making these executive decisions that might have need to be had, including demotions, which I've had my fair share of those.
Yeah, well, thankfully, nothing record staining, I hope.
I mean, not like that demotion. I've demoted people though. Yeah, I've demoted a fair few.
When I was I don't know if I ever demoted people as prog gen. I think
you did. I think I remember you.
I probably did. Anyways, but no, I mean, definitely for me, having been community admiral, I think something I picked up, and a community colonel, was just event planning and event management. A lot of what I do out in my personal life revolves around event planning, and it's honestly probably thanks to TNI. It's made planning events so much easier because I know what to expect. I sort of know how to account now for you just get an idea of how to work a team to manage and plan a large scale event. And especially back then when we had large scale events, we had up to 200 people. I mean, in my personal life, I plan events over 2,000, 3,000 people now, but definitely without TNI, I probably not would be where I am in that regard, because I probably would still be learning and picking a lot of stuff up. But it definitely, in terms of confidence, I would say is what that sort of role provides, and what TNI provides. There's confidence as you go into your personal life. You're like, oh, I've done this in a video game, and yeah, it might be a video game, but you've got that experience, and it's good to have that confidence, because you need that not only as a follower, but as a leader in your respective industries, wherever you are. You want to be confident with what you do, and so you're talking about learning to make executive decisions and being confident in your abilities, and that's a huge thing Krog taught me is learning to make the hard decisions, because community is easy. You're planning large scale events, and you're telling people to host, and you're friendly and everything. Krog and Justice, when I was there as well, it's like you got to be the bad guy. You gotta be the person who's not necessarily the most liked person out there, and so it's learning to like defend your ground, stand your ground, and stick to your guns, and that. So that's what I've taken away from Krog. But what I've taken away from leading,
there's always got to be a bad guy. That's how things work, and unfortunately, sometimes we had to be the bad guys.
Yeah, I probably ruined a few aspiring Roblox careers.
I know for a fact I have. I've gotten so many DMs about people being pissed off with me.
I got those DMs. I just ignored them. Dude, that's something else I took away from TNI is answering your DMs becomes optional. But it's not if you're currently an officer. If you're currently an officer listening, respond to your DMs. It's important. Interact with the community. But no. But yeah, I mean, that's on the flip side. What I learned is, those small interactions with people, not only, in Roblox, but outside when you're in your personal life. If you have a team and you tend to be in a relatively high position, interacting with those at the lower level, there's a chain of command, there's delegation and everything, but a little good job goes a long way is what I've learned.
Yep.
So, but aside of that, and personal impacts on TNI life, I do know we also wanted to talk about some early TNI experiences from back in the old day, us, the boomers of TNI, just remembering everything. I can start. I remember way back when I became when I was in the military police for the first time. I was friends with Nixon. I forget the numbers at the end of his name, but Nixon. Yep. And I think he's still around.
Yeah, I think he is. I don't think he might be developing. I don't know though. But wasn't he also a warfare colonel back in the day?
Yes. He was a warfare colonel, and then Nada Changs, I forget. I think their name is Natalie, but it was like Nada Changs or something. Anyways, I would stay up late at night to play TNI and everything because I never had time during the day. So I ended up, I think they're both of them are obviously in the Asian time zone sort of region, like the South Asian time zones. Yep. So, but I remember just staying up late at night and back in the old border. Do you remember when you could get the apartments outside of like the border?
Oh my God, the apartments.
Yes. We would get those and just do we would throw quote unquote Roblox parties in there because you get like the DJ game pass and everything. It was so much fun.
Oh my God. I miss the club so badly.
Yes, it was so much fun. And then we'd go around and do random stuff. I remember then when Flamingo did his video on the border, Nixon
I
was in that video. And I was like, hey, I was in that server not long before. I just happened to leave. The old jail. Oh my gosh, dude.
The old jail. I loved the design of the old jail, honestly. It looked so cool compared to what we have now.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Nothing to bash on the devs. Maybe it's just because, we grew. When we came into the game, the old jail was all we knew, and so now it's like super high tech and everything. But back then, it was so simple but so perfect. It was just 2 rows of blue cells,
and then obviously, in the center there was the control console to release or lock the cells up.
Yeah, that was. I remember doing that, and as a cadet, I accidentally went in there and started with controls. I got a lot of. I was like, "Who is this red guy, and why is he putting me in jail?" I was so confused. I'm like, because I saw another cadet in jail. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna let him out." My brother doesn't deserve to be locked up. My man did nothing wrong, and so I went to release him. And there's a red guy. Later, what I learned is an MP. I learned that MPs are not nice, but then I became one. So, oh well.
Yeah, I remember my time at MP.
Yeah, MP, dude. Did you know that I never passed the MP application when I first got in?
Yeah, I think you told me about that. I think Josh made the exception to just kind of bypass you in, and then
I didn't even know who Josh was. I just thought, oh, there's this random inspector dude, and he's being so nice to me. I got that private enlist evaluation or private tryout at the time, and got straight in. I think he honestly just forgot to do the application. But
the tryouts were kind of fun, honestly.
Who was that? I'm forgetting the superintendent now, but there was a superintendent who was like constantly hosting those tryouts at the simulation border.
I don't remember, honestly.
He had the Rick and Morty. He had Rick as his profile picture all the time. I do remember that. Why do I remember this so?
That's a great question. Why do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember it all so vividly. You know, as if it was yesterday. But no, MP, and then I remember becoming an MP officer and all that fun jazz. I wanted to become a lieutenant, but I never had the time to host. It was too much work. And that's back when we had the co-host requirements.
Yeah. I remember when I was a Manticore for a bit.
Oh yes, Manticore. Back under Essentially True. Or
no, I think mine was. I need to remember. I think mine was when Kylie was still around.
Kylie Huntress?
Yep.
There's a name I haven't heard in a very, very long time. She actually stopped by Waterloo at one point.
I'm pretty sure that Kylie was actually the person who let me in.
Oh, wow.
After I got a recommendation from a couple Manticore officers.
Damn. Yeah, I forgot she existed. I can't lie. She stopped by Waterloo at one point because obviously Tobias, a bunch of T9 vets were there. But
yeah, that's just based off my memory. But I think that I think that she was the one who let me in.
I remember when I got into Manticore the first time. I don't know who recommended me. I honestly didn't. To be honest, I didn't even know. I guess that's the good thing, right? Is I guess they did their job right because I never knew I was on the watch list or whatever. But I got contacted and I was like, "What the heck is Manticore?" I was like,
yeah, I think I was kind of similar to that. Honestly, I was like, "Wait, what? What's this?"
Essentially, it was actually Sug who reached out to me, and I was like, "Okay, I'll do this, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing." So, but it ended up working out until we got shut down. I
think I was kind of in the same boat where I had no idea what I was doing, and then out of nowhere, I just kind of got told. I just kind of got the DM where it's like, "Hey, you want to be Manticore?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" I failed the first time, then another one wanted me in again, so I was like, "I'll see what I can do." A couple, like an hour later, I got a DM again to say like, "Hey, do you want to try again?" I was like.
Yeah, having connections is important in TNI. That's one thing is, and it's. I mean, that's the same thing how it is in the real life networking. You know, making connections. Don't burn bridges unless you have. Like, don't burn any bridges. Like, I wouldn't even say unless you have to. Just don't burn bridges. It's important to keep those working relationships open at the very, very minimum. But yeah, no, early TNI experiences were. I miss the old club. Do you remember back when the zombie outbreak things used to work and?
Yeah.
All of that was fun.
Like in the initial border, or kind of like in
the initial border, the old border when the lab was right there. You exited the border, it was there on the right. Yeah.
Yep.
That was fun. I remember when I was in Wolfpack, dude. Me, this recon, and this Marine. I don't know what we were doing, but we somehow broke the lab in that server, and then it ended up the lab never worked again across any of the servers. And so I like to say that we broke it. I don't think that's, not that I know how development works, I don't think that's the case, but way back I thought, oh yeah, we broke the lab for good. I thought it was our fault. I think they should bring something like that back to the border. I like the lab currently, the whole scientist game pass and whatever, but it's not as fun. It's not as fun as like 20 zombies running around and you're getting swarmed and you're like, what the heck? But yeah, no, early TNI experiences, pretty good. Do you have any last ones you want to talk about before we move on?
Not that I can think off the top of my head, really.
Oh, good. The next part we were supposed to talk about on this podcast would be the future of TNI. Unfortunately, from what I have gathered from people, well, not unfortunately, but it's pretty much right now we're just waiting for exams to finish up for everybody, because I know all you Europeans, you British people with your bottle of waters and your governors, you got some A levels and whatever exams you need to wrap up over there, yeah, or how we know it's German.
Did you German for a second there, like?
yeah, all you European, they're all the same in my head, and I'm gonna get DMs about that probably, but you're all the same in my head, and so I think we're just waiting for you guys to wrap up. I
Ooh.
do know, like focus-wise, there's some big things to expect. Probably some fun, large-scale events. I was talking to Ollie about doing like a focus competition, so that's something I might look into here. I know community is going to be undergoing some good reforms. Prague is obviously still pumping stuff out, and
Yep.
development is development. They're doing some stuff. Red Cell exists. I don't keep track of them anymore. I can't believe I was in Red Cell at one point, but yeah, no, holy crap! I got to take a moment to self-glaze. I forgot I was in Red Cell, dude. I was a TNI Admiral and a Red Cell General. Holy crap! How did they let that happen? Okay, I'm done self-glazing. But yeah, Red Cell, from what I understand, they're still doing well. I believe Stern is now in charge, and then Lore. There should be some good stuff coming out for Lore. I trust that. What's her name? Sensibly Unsensible will take care of that and get it done. And I'm probably getting in trouble for not remembering that name either. But yeah, lots to expect. Summer is obviously always good. Hopefully, we'll see an uptake in event counts and in engagement. But yeah, aside from that, there's sort of switching themes here, moving a little bit away from TNI. We've got a lot happening this summer as well in like the pop culture and media world. First of all, the last Mission Impossible movie, I believe, debuted or premiered yesterday, or it might be today. The Dead Reckoning, the final part, it's coming out. I'm gonna go see it tomorrow night at like 9:45 p.m. because all the theaters in my area are like sold out. But were you ever raised on? Have you ever watched any of the Mission Impossible movies at all?
I've watched them. I wouldn't really say like I was raised on them though.
Okay. I was, yeah, my father, I thank goodness God for my father. He raised me on the Mission Impossible movies, and it's like, for me, it's so huge. I'm so excited. I'm so hyped. It looks, from everything I've seen and the footage I've seen, it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm also like a Tom Cruise fanboy. Like he is fine, and Top Gun and everything, dude. Like he's my favorite.
Oh yeah. So, Top Gun is, let's be honest, everyone has to watch Top Gun. That is just a matter of life and death. Not really a matter of life. That's a fact of life, though. Everyone has to watch Top Gun
the original first. You have to watch the original before you watch the new one. And don't get me wrong, Top Gun Maverick is. I was concerned, but they really pulled it off. They really pulled it off.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Navy actually let them fly some of the jets too, which is even more awesome of them.
Well, they were recording inside of the jets.
Yeah, they're recording in flight. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they actually. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but I feel like I've heard that they did let them fly the jets at least, except for all the stunts.
Yeah, they probably let them touch the controls a little bit. I want to fly jets one day. That'll be fun. But I'm still in training. But no, I would love to fly it, dude. To whip around in an F-16 or an F-14. That would be cool. Top Gun was it. Top Gun was where it was. And then obviously this new Mission Impossible movie, it looks good because I've seen they're using Tom Cruise's connections to the military and working with them and everything. It seems from some of the trailers I've seen that there's going to be more military in there. And so I'm hyped to see how they integrate that. And it's just going to be a really explosive end, I think, to a wonderful series.
In the Mission Impossible movie?
Yes. I saw like an aircraft carrier. And I saw a trailer that said you gave him an aircraft carrier, like Tom Cruise, and I was like, "Oh, heck yeah!" So I'm a little, I'm really excited actually. I'm excited to see this. I wonder how it's gonna work.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. So I'm excited to go see it tomorrow. I'll let you all know how it goes. I'm sure some of you have already seen it as well, so don't spoil it for me. But it looks pretty freaking good. And then just staying on the topic of movies. I know Marvel recently released the new Avengers, aka the Thunderbolts.
Yep.
Did you get a chance to watch that yet, or not yet?
I'm still debating if I want to see it first because it's like I might, but I'm not entirely sold on it yet.
Mm-hmm. So that was sort of. I mean, I went into it honestly not knowing what to expect. My friends were like, "Oh, we're gonna go see this movie. You want to come?" And I was like, "What?" I honestly had not even tracked that it was releasing, and then I did a little bit of research, and I'm like, "What the heck?" I would definitely recommend it if you do have the time. It was a really good movie. It had a good message behind it. A lot of times, when movies try to like send a message or whatever, it can either be too heavy and it sort of distracts from the plot or whatever. But they did a really good job, I think, mixing. It's a message about like mental health and everything. And so I would definitely recommend, if you have the time and it's like Cinemark, I know Tuesdays tickets are like what, $10, so it maybe jumps to like 12 with taxes. Like if you've got $12 in like two hours, it was. So like 3 hours, I guess, with all the trailers and whatever. I would definitely recommend going to see it. And anybody who's listening as well, definitely recommend go check it out. It was funny as well, which is what I really liked. I love just the mix of accents that all the characters had throughout it. So it was a good movie. Probably like an 8 out of 10.
I just think about what I want to do for that because I still have stuff I have to do personally, but we'll see what happens. I might see it.
And then just continuing on, we'll keep going down all these movies. The Lilo and Stitch live action is coming out. I haven't watched too much. I remember watching it as a kid. It's been a while though. It's been a while. I don't remember much, but from what I see, it should be hopefully releasing soon. And I think it will gross well.
I think it's releasing this week. Next week. I think it's releasing next week.
I know I was talking to my mom and she's like, oh my gosh, we should go as a family and see it. And I was like, yeah, sure. But I love my mom. I love my mom to death. And it's probably not a bad movie.
I'm actually planning on seeing it next week.
I'm apprehensive about live actions. It's always like Disney has been hit or miss with their live actions so far. Like sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. Like,
I'd agree.
Especially with like Stitch, I'm worried it's going to seem too CGI'd.
Here's at least the main important thing for me is that they brought the original voice actor for Stitch back for the movie. So at least he's gonna have the same voice as how we know him from.
He'll be authentic.
Way back. Yep.
The authentic Stitch. That would be nice. I might go see it. We'll see. And then continue on the live action train. Then there's the How to Train Your Dragon live action, which comes out I think in June, like mid-June, like June 13th, June 14th.
Right, yeah.
Personally, I'm probably gonna go see it. I'm excited. I think it'll be good. Again, the thing I'm worried about mostly is the CGI. Like when you have movies that are so dependent on CGI, they either do it really, really well or they do it really poorly.
Yes, especially with how many dragons there are in the movie too, because like you have, as we all would know, the Night Fury. Then there's Gronkle's Monstrous Nightmares, which I feel like are going to be really interesting to see. Because the detail of a Monstrous Nightmare is just so intense.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with how its whole entire body can light on fire too. So that's going to be interesting to watch.
And with all the other dragons on screen as well, it's like, I mean, obviously they get paid to do this. It's Disney; they've got billions and billions of dollars. But it's like,
this.
We'll see.
This DreamWorks is not. I mean, Disney is not How to Train Your Dragon.
That's right. That's DreamWorks.
It's DreamWorks.
I just assumed Disney owns everything now. Like, they've just been taking over franchise after franchise. I'm just like, it's probably Disney. You're right. It is DreamWorks.
I can see where you're coming from, especially since I think this just yesterday actually, Epic Universe opened in Universal.
Oh wow, really?
So the How to Train Your Dragon area is open, which actually I kind of found it funny because like the character actor for Hiccup at the park actually came up and did like a whole "This is Burke" blah blah thing.
Oh dang! Okay, that's pretty cool. I haven't been to Universal I've only been to Universal once, and that was the one out in California. That was a long time. That's a long time ago. Holy crap! I gotta go back. That sounds fun. I want to go to whatchamacallit? The Hogwarts place.
Mystery Magic.
Yeah. I want to go do that whole stuff. Whatever you call it, the whole wizarding world and whatever and everything else. Yeah, no, but How to Train Your Dragon live action. Be sure to check that out. I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. And then sort of shifting gears here, we're going to move on to more TV series and everything. Andor Season 2. I don't think you've watched it yet. I know we talked about it briefly. But allow me to get up on my soapbox really fast and say if you are a Star Wars fan or not even a Star Wars fan, but you like good TV shows with good cinematography, good plot, good acting, I would 10 out of 10 or even like 15 out of 10 recommend Andor. Season 1, I admit, the first 3 episodes, it's all set up. It's slow. Remember that Andor was supposed to be a 5-season episode or 5-season show. Disney cut it down to 2 for other shows and other projects. but it was originally supposed to be 5. So season 1 is slightly slower at the start, but it picks up around episode 4, and it's really good throughout the rest. Like season 1 was still absolutely great. Like there's some really really good cinematography, great acting, but then season 2 it's like right into the action. Like if you're interested in the story of the rebellion, how it gets set up, and just seeing a whole different side of Star Wars, seeing the political side, seeing like the empire at its peak, in the movies and everything they're sort of weak and everything, but in Andor it's not that way. It's like, you've probably heard it described like this, but there's no force, there's no lightsabers, there's no wizarding stuff. It's literally just pure simple Star Wars, like at its core. It's just rebellion and empire. Yeah, there's no space magic or hunky dory stuff. Nothing. What was a quote from Han Solo? Like that something about a good blaster. That is Andor in its entirety. And so if you get a chance, definitely watch season 1 and then go to season 2 right away. The episodes are about 45 to an hour long in both seasons, but it is so worth your time. Either find a time to binge it, watch it with friends, do 2 or 3 at a time. You're going to be at the edge of your seat. You're going to love it. I loved it. I know all the Star Wars fans have been ranting and raving about it, and I'm still going on and on about it, which just shows I usually don't get this hyped up about like a show, but this was so worth it. And obviously the episodes were coming out during my finals week, and I was like, screw finals, I'm gonna watch this because it was that good. It was that good. And as a result, I did fail one final, but because of the extra credit, I clutched up.
Let it be known that we do not condone you skipping out on your classes to watch Andor or anything else. Thank you.
Students first. You guys are students first. Remember that. And I, your Lego life, your Lego career can wait. I promise you, it will still be here when you come back.
Unless we're not for some reason.
Definitely, keep that in mind. And then I think moving on, sort of switching gears one more time. We talked about this a little bit at the start, but Helldivers 2, like just switching over to video games right now. Helldivers 2. Super Earth has been invaded. What are you doing, my fellow Helldiver? To stop the Illuminate.
We're under siege. We're under siege. Helldivers to Hellpies. We're dropping boys.
Dude, it has been such a fun update, and like I said, I'm so glad it dropped now. The city, like the graphics, everything just looks so great. The new war bond. Oh my gosh, the uniform's a fire. The new gun. My own personal opinion, don't use it if you want to. My guess, but you're gonna die.
Actually, I think we're about to lose Eagleopolis on.
Yes. Yes. I was just playing there last night. Actually, that's a shame. It's okay though. We'll come back, guys, because the democracy officers are listening. So there's only victory. Long live Super Earth.
There's only victory in this case. We will not lose. We can't lose. We're Helldivers.
Yeah, I mean, and the whole whatchamacallit, now that you can customize your weapons, like it has added a whole new level of gameplay that is super super nice. I love the fact that you can adjust your recoil on some of these guns now. I've been using the Liberator Penetrator. No, not the Liberator Carbine and the Adjudicator has been my 2 primaries. But last night I went through 3 campaigns with the Deadeye, and I used the Stalwart as like my machine gun, and that combination is so good because the Deadeye will take out the Flyers and the Overseers, and then you've got the Stalwart to take out all the Voidlists. And dude, I was getting 400 kills a match, and it was. I think I might have cracked the code to Helldivers and loadouts, at least against the Illuminate.
Until the next nerf comes out.
Yeah, until they, dude, and the next nerf, and the whole stupid thing with the what have they done? They've introduced 3 new enemies, and that sort of nerfed some of my guns in a sense of like I was so used to using the double-edged sickle, and now it's like completely useless against flesh mobs. And
in general, like I feel like most entry weapons are better against the automatons. That's the thing. Because like the sickle, I feel like does work pretty well against them, but not as much as say like a penetrator. Although penetrators are still pretty good.
For sure, and like, dude, it's just now you've got the Stingrays as well, which are coming in, and like, it's just so bad. It's fun. The new game modes. I don't know if you've done the shoot down the Overseer ship. That one is fun. I really really like that type of.
I have not complexity. Seen that one.
Really? Okay, so it's where you like raise the cannon out of the ground. and you have to shoot the ship down.
Okay.
It's super fun. You have to like manually aim and everything, and it's just a whole new level of complexity to the game that I think really has elevated it to a whole nother level, and it's so much more engaging, so much more fun. So yeah, Helldivers, I mean, there's a reason it's one of the Steam games of the year. This level of engagement that it's maintained for such a long time since its release as well, because it's been 2 years now almost since it dropped, and like the player count has remained so stable. So if you have time, if you've got like $30, $40, $30, I think.
I think it's about 40.
$40, definitely get 10 out of 10 recommend. Great way to spend your summer. Don't get a job, play Helldivers. Super Earth needs you.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta come up. You gotta come over. We gotta save Super Earth. Come on over. We got you.
Just sticking on video games. Are there any video games that you're excited for, or rumors that you've been hearing other than GTA 6 being delayed again?
I mean, I haven't really looked at too many recently, but at least if you're a fan of Persona, they have a Persona gacha game coming out.
Oh, okay. Sounds fun.
Persona 5 The Phantom X.
One of my friends is a big gacha game player. He plays Zenless Zero and
Zenless Zone Zero, yeah.
Genshin Impact and a few others. He just uses the abbreviations at this point, and I'm like, what are you talking about? But
yeah, I feel like ZZZ is the funnest one to say, because it's literally just ZZZ, Zenless Zone Zero, ZZZ.
Yeah. And then I think as well, just sort of the last video game topic before we move on is, I don't know about you guys, but going back to Star Wars, I've been getting a lot on my like Instagram feed about Star Wars Battlefront 3. And I've re-downloaded Star Wars Battlefront 2 and I've been running it. And if you want to run with me, let me know. I freaking love it. I forgot how much I love that game. But I've been seeing everyone wants that third Battlefront now. It's pretty good to see.
I remember seeing a video on YouTube earlier about how people are all of a sudden going right back to Battlefront 2 to show they want Battlefront 3.
Mm-hmm. And they did a lot of fixing with their balancing, with the whole like progression system of like, you had to really, really grind to get anything, and now it's so much better, and it's just so much fun to play, dude. It's hard for me to explain it, but it's been a lot of fun getting back into it with my friends. Ewok Hunt, oh my gosh, one of my favorite game modes, and then just really getting back into the whole Star Wars thing. So it's good to see that it's coming back. If you're a Star Wars fan, let Disney know. Join the feed. Join the rebellion. It's time. I think it'll be
great.
Join
the 501st.
Dude, wait. Star Wars. Oh wait, you just reminded me. Fortnite. Let's talk about Fortnite for a moment.
Oh God.
As the leader of the Fortnite focus, allow me to tell you about the most recent season and how it has been exclusively Star Wars themed.
Oh my God.
Be sure to check out the shop. There's this bundle for the clone pack. It's like 18,000 V-Bucks, but you get like 6 skins from the clones. I would 10 out of 10 recommend. And then there's just so much more. You've got Sabrina Carpenter recently who was in there, and Master Chief is out again and everything. And so definitely check it out. The whole game style has changed for Battle Royale. It's all Star Wars guns, meaning you don't run out of ammo. You just have like the cooldown and everything. You can fly starfighters during games. You can get lightsabers again. It's super, super fun. And there obviously AI Darth Vader. I'm sure you guys have seen all the TikToks, reels, and whatever.
Yep.
He's about as legit as he seems in those, so it's super fun. So you check it out. Yep. I think the season ends June 13th, or June 7th. It's ending here pretty soon. You got probably half a month left, so make sure to check that out before it's too late. And then I think that's everything video game wise.
I'm just going to say this now. I'm very sorry to everyone who doesn't like Fortnite like me, and they had to sit through that.
Hey, as the leader of the Fortnite focus, let me tell you, I have quite a bit of power. That role grants you quite a lot of permissions, and I had to adjust that. But who knows? I might have. It's been a while, and I did say that I think I did go back through and add a lot of permissions to that role. So if you do have the Fortnite focus role, let me know. And if you're, admin or something listening to this, ignore this. Fortnite focus is a normal role without administrative permissions whatsoever.
It never existed. It never existed.
Exactly. But if you want in on the Fortnite focus, DM me. Let me know what level you are. Let me know your KDR, and I'll process your application. We might be able to run some duos and trios or squads. We'll do some fun stuff this summer. Hopefully get some external game nights started.
Actually, speaking of games, I don't know. I don't think that you follow Marvel Rivals too closely, but we're reaching the point of season 2.5 coming out for Marvel Rivals.
Really? Okay. I have a lot of friends that play Marvel Rivals. I myself would not sink to that level, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But
it's not like
yeah,
it's a bad game.
Yeah, so we're getting Ultron. There's a couple of team ups that are getting changed up. Like for example, I know that symbiote bond with Venom, Penny, and Spider-Man is going away, so that means Spider-Man can no longer combo you. Good job to the healers. You guys are free from the Spider-Man combos.
Yeah, I've seen all the clips from Marvel Rivals. It seems fun. I need to get into it, but during university, I was just so busy. And now that I'm like free, like I never had time for video games during uni. And now that I'm free, there's all these games that I need to play that all my friends were. Obviously, because they're all business majors. Shit doesn't matter. So they're on the game 24/7, and I'm like, what? What? So
I need
to try that out.
We should just squad up for Marvel Rivals. We should.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of games we need to squad up for. We need to squad up for
Helldivers,
Democracy Calls, Phasmophobia. Yep, we need to do Marvel Rivals, and then
I think we can actually do at some point because I think I have the people we need for a full squad on Phasmo.
Oh, perfect. What is it? Is it you?
Me, Sense, you, Cole.
Perfect. And Maddie, you can come too. We can swap out. You're loved and appreciated. I promise.
We love you, Maddie.
Speaking as well of video games, another fun one would be Repo. I've been playing that with my friends. The description of Lethal Company on steroids is absolutely accurate. It's so much fun as well. Oh my gosh. I remember the first time playing, I'm with my friend, and I think it was the shotgun guy that walked by, and I was like, "Down here, officer," and he just shot my friend because I was hiding behind him. And that's pretty much how my Repo experience has been ever since. But there's a few mods you can add as well. It's pretty fun.
That is great. I love that.
My mission doing Repo is to get my friends killed. I found out that if you knock them down on the mansion map in the fireplaces, you can throw them in. So I've been burning my friend. I've just been throwing my friends in the fireplace. I'm actually evil. I need to stop. It's about winning, not about killing your friends. But no, I love those games. So much fun. And then Monster Hunter Wilds. It's another video game that's been doing pretty well. I know that released a while ago, but we haven't had the podcast in a while, so there's a lot to catch up on. Yeah. But sort of switching gears, we're sort of going to go into sort of a bit more personal questions. We've been talking so much about TV shows, about favorite movies and everything. What is your favorite TV show or anime? Because I know, if you guys don't know this, Blake likes anime, and I don't even know if likes is an accurate description. It might be like loves anime. So of all the animes you've watched, and I'm sure there's thousands. I mean, I've only seen a few, but I've seen the Crunchyroll.
I wouldn't say thousands. It's more like hundreds.
Okay. Well, I would have been a pass to thousands.
But I mean, I have to give my respects to Sword Art Online because that is where I started. But overall, I have to say that is a trash anime. Honestly, there's just so many I've been loving recently. I've actually been reading the light novel for ReZero, and I'm very far ahead of the anime at this point. I think I'm like a full arc ahead of you guys for the anime, and I feel like you guys are gonna like the next arc with the tower. It's gonna be interesting to watch. I don't even know how far it got, but you guys might have already been there. You guys might not have already been there, but you're going to a tower. I haven't watched the rest of season 3 after I finished the light novels. But yeah, in general, I do love myself a bit of ReZero and Chainsaw Man. Those are pretty good.
For me, I actually also started my anime journey with Sword Art Online. I remember watching that and being so confused, but I was also like really young. I didn't really understand anime then. But if I had to say I had a favorite anime, I've watched a handful since. I'd probably say Code Geass, just because it was probably one of the first I watched outside of Sword Art Online. Or our friend Shinedown introduced me. Actually, I was like, back when I was like a trooper in Tina, I'm like, I DM'd him. I was like, there's no way he's gonna respond. I'm like, what do you watch Code Geass on? Because this was also before I knew that Crunchyroll and everything existed. He gave me all these pirated websites. I mean, legal websites, and
Perfectly legal. Admin looked the other way.
yeah, and
Admin
it
and law
was,
enforcement looked the other way.
and so that was probably a really good anime. Definitely, on the darker side, but it was really well done. Outside of that, oh,
it's
go on.
also just it's just also just one of those really iconic anime too, because it's like let's be honest, Code Geass is an anime that everyone has to watch at least once.
Yeah, I've watched it at least 3 times now since, but it's just good. Outside of that, I'm trying to think of other animes off the top of my head that I've watched. I watched Fate, one of the Fate series. I forget which one. It was pretty good. It was a little weird at first, but it got pretty good. I haven't watched any of the newer stuff though.
You see, now as a Fate fan, this is where I would have to ask which part of Fate, because we all know if you watch Fate, there's so many different timelines, there's so many different stories, because there's the original visual novel, which is, and the anime is based off the visual novel, which is broken up to 3 parts, which are kind of not related to each other at all.
Mm-hmm.
But they all have the overarching story that gets covered in Fate Zero, but don't watch Fate Zero because then it spoils Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel, which is the best one.
So, like, I forget which one. Okay, so I'm not aware of the Fate timeline. My brother watches a lot of anime actually as well, and so when I told him I was watching this Fate, he's like, "Oh, which one? Does it fit in the timeline?" I honestly don't know. I think I watched it out of order. It was the one where it's that girl. Okay, that's probably like every single anime now that I think about it, but it's like the girl and she wears red, and then
so that would have been one of the Fate Stay Night ones, which
it was Fate Stay Night. It was
I would assume it'd be Unlimited Blade Works, because that's that's kind of like the main one that people watch, since we don't talk about we don't talk about Fate Stay Night by Dean.
It was, what was it? And I remember she was inside this giant house at one point, and like there was a demon or something.
A demon.
I don't know, a demon, a monster. It's been so long since I've watched it. So I don't watch a lot of animes, guys.
So
I don't know. It was one of the Fate nights, whatever you call it.
I would assume it would be Unlimited Blade Works, since that's probably the most readily available one on Crunchyroll and Netflix and a bunch of other places, but
it's probably what it was. I remember I stayed up all night binging it because I just happened to roll across an anime. I'm like, I want to watch an anime, and then I stayed up all night, and the next day I had a test, so it was fun. But it was okay. It was sort of worth it, I think. I don't know. I don't remember much.
Yeah, but with Fate, there's no end to it. There's just Fate, and then once you start watching Fate and you stay around the community long enough, you just kind of get to know Fate, and then you buy the Blu-rays for Heaven's Feel, which is what I did.
Now, sort of swapping from anime series and TV series. For my favorite TV series, I don't think I ever talked about mine was. Oh, that's hard. Obviously, there's Andor, which is out right now, but I'm sort of biased. But aside from that, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated series, grew up on it. One of the best. And then you've got Race to the Dragon's Ledge as well. It's a close second. I remember as a kid, at least. TV series, like more realistic ones. I love I love any of the crime ones. NCIS, Law and Order, SVU, freaking Criminal Minds, any of that, really good. Breaking Bad is also, how could I forget? Breaking Bad is easily one of my top 3 as well. There's just so many TV shows.
So now on to mine, I guess. Easily one of the biggest ones would be Dragon's Race to the Edge.
That was it's an old one too, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was honestly, out of the Dragon series, which if you don't know, but I've been around for the entire franchise, it was Dragons, Riders of Berk, Defenders of Berk, then Race to the Edge for the series.
Mm-hmm.
And Race to the Edge was easily my favorite out of the 3 of them. But
it was that was my favorite too. It was dude, there's just so many good stuff. I could go on and on and on, but for time's sake. Moving on, favorite. So we talked about TV show and series that are animes. Favorite movie or movie like saga. So like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, or if there's an anime movie saga.
I mean,
I'm sure there is actually. I'm sure there is.
it's called Fate Stay Night. But so I guess for me, in terms of a singular anime movie, I'd probably have to give it to Konosuba.
Okay. What is that one? Sort of about.
So basically just a small party of adventurers doing random stuff, causing trouble, somehow getting themselves out of trouble, including at the same time of getting rid of their debt, getting more debt.
Great.
It's honestly it's just very much a comedy series.
Okay, that sounds good.
And I'd honestly recommend watching Konosuba for anyone.
Okay. Konosuba. Was it available on Crunchyroll, I'm assuming?
Crunchyroll, then you can also probably pirate it as well. I mean, completely legally watch it. But
legally, of course, legally.
Legally, yeah, of course. But yeah, Konosuba, great anime. It's an isekai, and the basic plot of the beginning is you got a guy. He was trying to save someone who he thought was gonna get hit by a truck. Turned out the truck was a tractor, and our main character died from shock from thinking he got hit by a truck.
Interesting. Very interesting. Huh.
Yep. It is a very stupidly funny way to start a series. Our main character dies from thinking he got hit by a truck when actually he did not get hit at all.
Sounds like an anime. I can't lie. That sounds like an anime opening. Not saying that anime openings are anything, but it sounds like an anime opening.
Yeah. But then in terms of like actual movie trilogy, I gotta give it a How to Train Your Dragon, man.
Yes, always returning, dude. We've come back to that so many times, but it is honestly so true. It's so peak. Oh my gosh.
It is such a great movie.
It's just something you can't beat. There's just like sometimes when you like, especially just I think growing up with it as well, you know, it's just sort of like it gets that sort of prestige in your mind, that sort of like old timiness. It's something you can't shake. It's so good.
Yeah, because it's like, especially the music for the movie as well. It is fantastic. John Powell and Yancey did a great job with both of their sides of the music, where Yancey did all the orchestral, then John Powell did all the orchestral, Yancey did the lyric songs for all the movies, like Where No One Goes for How to Train Your Dragon 2, Sticks and Stones for the first one, and to wrap it up, Together From Afar, which Together From Afar is a powerful song.
It was, the scores, the music, the instrumental. I remember as a kid, like my dad loved the music as well, so he'd always play it in the car whenever, like as a kid, we were riding along, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah. But let's be honest, John Powell did not need to go that hard for a children's movie.
I know, he sort of set the bar so high that there's some other movies that are like equally as good, but their soundtracks are not. It's disappointing at times, but it was, that's one of the defining things of How to Train Your Dragon is their race to the, like that music is great. For me, favorite movie or movie series without bias, we've already talked about Top Gun, those two. That's obviously going to be in my top rated ones. But honestly, I recently Star Wars obviously as well. I'm trying to like keep the big names out because obviously those are my favorites. I'm a generic person. I'm a generic nerd. But if I had to choose one that I think a lot of people haven't really watched as much, probably the Now You See Me, Now You Don't series, The Magicians.
Yep,
I really enjoyed those. And the third movie is coming out, I think.
I heard about that.
So I'm excited.
Honestly, I love Now You See Me Too. That was such a great movie.
Dude, it's always my brother. He's also really good at card magic. And so just being able to see a movie like that, and like, having grown up watching AGT as well, and like all the magicians, it was really well put together, and it's one of my favorites by far, movie series wise. The other movie series wise that I probably say is my favorite, or standalone movie that is my favorite, I would actually probably say the Oceans series as well. Maybe not Oceans, the first like Oceans, so Oceans 11, Oceans 12. It's like where they rob the casinos. I really enjoyed those as well. So there's so many good movies out there as well. It's like I could go on and on and on. There's also a lot of bad ones out there. I bleep that. I can't say that word on podcast. What was it? Oh yeah, my favorite comedic movie or like comedy movie alone though, standalone would probably be Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
I remember watching that one for the first time, and all of Monty Python has a great, like, tons of stuff, but
We are the nice who say.
And then you had the "'Tis but a scratch, it's just a flesh wound." Oh my gosh, there's so many good movies.
How about you? I love that part. I love how it's like. I love the moment where Arthur kneeled down to say a quick prayer about his victory. Then the Black Knight just kind of jumped towards him.
Yeah.
Just.
That was a good movie. Yes, someone, Maddie just DM me. Have I watched The Life of Brian? Yes, Life of Brian is really, really good. There's that one scene from, I think it was Life of Brian. I forget which one it was, but it's they're talking. Oh, I can't say that actually on the podcast, but actually I can just bleep it out. But like, when he's in there with the Romans and like, have you ever heard of my? It was like the guy whose his father is
I know the scene.
Yeah, we're not gonna say anything, guys. Look it up on your own. Life of Brian Roman scene or whatever. It's PG-13, so I'm warning you now. There's some language. Otherwise, it's just hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
It's like so you said the Roman scene. I feel like I know the scene immediately.
But aside from that, I don't think we had anything else to talk about on this podcast. We talked about, we talked about summer break plans, our TNI experiences and impacts, lots of pop movies, series, video games, everything. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up during our time?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay, well, thank you guys for tuning in. We talked about a lot and actually did it pretty quickly as well, at least compared to the last podcast. So hopefully you found this entertaining, a little bit more fast-paced. DM us if you have any suggestions, things you want talked about. Maybe next time we'll bring a few guests on, interview them, ask about TNI, revisit some questions that we've talked about with them. And then hopefully I will have more for you on sort of the direction of where TNI is going, developmentally, administratively. I'm looking as well to get more involved in TNI myself here in the summer. But until then, guys, do well in your A-levels. Good luck on your final exams if you have any left. Enjoy your summer. Be safe. Make smart decisions. Remember, it's not a crime if you don't get caught. I mean, what? So enjoy your summers, guys. And yeah, that's all from me. See you guys next time. Hopefully soon.
Bye-bye.
It will be soon. I promise. We'll make one sooner than last time. So yeah, ciao.
I don't trust him. Don't trust him.